she's not qualified to answer like philosophical questions. She's like, does Data have a soul? I don't know. Do I have one? How if I know? But I love that she's like, he deserves the freedom to figure this out on his own. And so she rules that he is a machine, but he is not the property of Starfleet. And of course, Data then refuses to work with Maddox. And I do think it is very generous of Data to say, you know what, I would work with you in the future, though, because some of your ideas are intriguing. And, yeah, so, I mean, what do you guys think about this scene? This is like real drama and real pathos in this acting here.
Oh, this is hostile witness territory when he was going back and forth, What is he? I don't know,
Right.
What if he achieves consciousness even the smallest degree? What is he then? This is great. I don't know. Do you? And he's pointing to everybody. Do you?
Yeah, that's great.
And then basically says, if you allow this to go through, you are assigning him and all those who follow to, what did he say, to servitude and slavery.
Mm-hmm.
So it's great monologuing. It's just it's really, really good. But yeah, it's just I could watch this 100 times. It's so good. It's so good.
I've watched this episode 3 times this week. I could watch it again right now. It's so good. It is one of the best episodes of Star Trek out there. But yeah, so of course, Maddox is defeated and he looks pretty down. But a key thing is he stops calling Data it. He does say he is an incredible machine, instead of saying it is an incredible machine. And then, even though we don't see Maddox again, he is referenced in another episode. I know.
We have the same nose. We have like the same nose because I had the same thing written down. I'm like, not the last time he's mentioned.
I knew you would remember, but in the episode Data's Day, which is another fan favorite episode.
Watch that one this week.
Oh, okay. Good choice. A good follow-up to this episode. The whole episode is Data writing a letter, or not writing because they don't write in the 24th century, but they composing a letter to Commander Maddox of telling him about an average day that he has on the Enterprise. And we listen to Data's narration as he's writing this letter. So it's kind of cool to know that even down the line, years later, Data and Maddox still correspond. And maybe, who knows, in the future, if Maddox can get his act together, who knows, maybe Data would consent to work with him. But it's very generous of Data to be willing to even still talk to this guy after he was like, I want to take you apart with no guarantee I can put you back together again.
Well, he was also name dropped in the episode Contagion, where Geordi, something was whatever happened, and he said, well, maybe an expert like Maddox or somebody like that can help us. So they
you're right. I forgot about that.
So they threw. It's trivia. That's trivia. Come on.
I told everybody that Joe is the trivia king. I forgot that he is name dropped in that episode too. I just remembered him from Data's Day. That's cool. So basically we come to our last scene of the episode. Riker is in the observation lounge and he's like all sad or just feeling like he's like sick of himself. Like he's hates that he had to do this job. And Data comes in and he's like, come to the party that they're throwing because I didn't die. And he's like, Riker's like, no, I don't deserve to be there. I tried to I had to prosecute this case, like I almost won, and you would have been disassembled and dismantled. And Data's like, yeah, but if you had done nothing, then I for sure would have been handed over. And he's like, you basically Data's like, you did me a solid, bro, and I won't forget it. And then him and Riker kind of just walk off and go join the party. And again, Data just showing a lot of empathy here for an android that doesn't have emotions. He sure does show a lot of empathy of helping people feel better about their feelings. So, yeah, that's our episode, you guys.
And doing some research about this, I saw where there was a class at University of Kentucky, which isn't very far from me, where the teacher used this episode and the movie Bicentennial Man about like rights of artificial intelligence and stuff. And then I started going and finding like her different syllabuses for the different years, and she had a lot of different things because it's one of those sort of special courses in computer science or whatever. And it's like, I just really want to just take this course because she uses Black Mirror episodes and she uses Isaac Asimov books and all kinds of things to, sort of discuss all the different types of problems that we'll probably have going forward with technology, and ethics dealing with, artificial intelligence, even like online stalking. Like she did a lot of different things in this course over the years. And I just thought that was really cool that it's actually close enough that I could take that class if I wanted.
That is really cool. I mean, I think certainly like, you think about the works of Isaac Asimov, who a very prolific science fiction author, and writing about this idea. And, you don't even have to go too much further than that. I mean, the whole premise of like the Terminator movies is this idea of people creating machines that become too smart for themselves and then, become Skynet and take over. And then you've got Terminators trying to kill John Connor in the past. It's crazy, so it's that whole idea of artificial intelligence is absolutely a staple of a lot of, science fiction, but even fantasy, because even if you go to Star Wars, I mean, you've got C-3PO, you've got R2-D2, you've got K2SO, you've got droids that can think and talk and are smart, and you've got some droids that are really just like brainless automatons who are just like must move this box, like, and that's it. But you definitely see that as a theme throughout a lot of pop culture stuff, which is this episode so good. And again, peeling back the curtain, when Brooke and I put this list together of episodes of must watch, and I had a group of people that I knew I wanted to have on, and Joe, you were at the top of my list. You were like the first guy I wrote down as a potential guest. I was like, Joe Vitale.
I think I was the first one to sign up. I think too.
You were
probably, yeah.
And when I looked at our sign up sheet and I saw you had put your name next to this episode, I even messaged you and I said I knew you were going to pick this episode because you always talk about how much you love Measure of a Man, and it's a great episode. It's a great episode of Trek. It's a great episode of science fiction. It's just a great episode of TV in general. And I'm so glad that we reviewed it tonight. And we're just one episode closer to episode 1 of Picard. So another question that Brooke had introduced as well, which I forgot to tell you about beforehand, Joe. So surprise. What are you hoping for in the Picard series? Is there something that you would really love to see, or some storyline that you're really hoping that they'll work on? Like, what are you hoping for in the Picard series?
So I don't want them to just throw in next generation characters just so we can say, oh, we've got 6 characters over the course of the series. So I want them to be able to come in, organically to whatever suits the story. And I would like to have a story that is somehow tied into something from the next generation that he was involved with in the past, whether it's something with Vulcans, Klingons, something as a continuation. And I just hope it's just really good story. I mean, the production value so far and like that trailer is like movie quality, so it looks gorgeous. So it's got a lot of nostalgia going for it, but I think they need to do just like what kind of like Cobra Kai did. You had a lot of nostalgia, but it has a great story, and it was a great continuation of the character, and that's what I just want to see.
Mm-hmm. I assume based on like the scripts that is what it's going to be, because Patrick Stewart thought that he was done with being Picard, so I think that it had to be pretty good for him to say, yes, I'm going to come back and do this. So hopefully it is.
Yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, he had once that last movie Nemesis wrapped, I mean, he basically said, I'm done with this character. I'm hanging up my Starfleet uniform. I'm never playing Picard again. And then when this idea came around, he also said on his social media account that basically the only thing that really brought him in was the script, was the writing of coming back to this character. Because honestly, it's not like he needs to do that. I mean, he's Professor X. I mean, he's been a part of two of the biggest franchises out there, Star Trek and X-Men. I mean, he could easily basically say, no way am I coming back to play Picard. And it was the writing that really got him in. And I mean, I think we're in for some amazing stories. I think we're in for some amazing direction. I mean, you've got Michael Chabon, who's the showrunner, who, for those who don't know, writes a lot of science fiction, and he's been working doing show running and working with different television series throughout his career. But I'm excited to see what he does with Picard, and I'm excited to see all his adventures he's going to have, because I think he's got some more adventures left in him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the CBS is making me break my one rule of subscribing to CBS All Access, which was my rule. I was never going to, and if they are going to make me break my one rule, kind of like Batman's one rule, you.
Right. I would say if you're going to break your rule anyway for Picard, there are actually a couple of good shows on there on CBS All Access, but I get it. Like, why do you want to pay for another?
No, so far everything I've watched, all of Discovery, but I have all watched it either a 1 month free trial. I figured out I got a 3-month trial with a combination of stuff. So I've watched everything for free.
Good for you. That's awesome. But for Picard, they're going to make you pay for it, huh?
Yes, I'm paying. I have to see it when it airs.
I got you. Me too. Obviously, not just for this show, but I would watch it week to week anyway. So, so before we say goodnight, Joe, tell everybody where they can get more of Joe.
Oh, well, if you want to. So, David and I do a podcast called Vintage Geeks, and we talk about Marvel, DC, we do 80s, 90s stuff. We're doing an 80s kind of a TV battle bracket of shows like Chips versus Magnum PI, things like that. So we're having a lot of fun, and I'm coming up with, he doesn't know yet, but I'm coming up with one that's going to be it's going to be a classic movie and TV vehicles battle. So nice. Like a bracket, like the NCAA bracket. So you have like the '66 Batmobile, and the Mach 5 Speed Racer, Knight Rider, Dukes of Hazzard vehicle. So all these cars, 32 of them, and we're going to battle them out.
Oh, the A-Team van's got to be in there.
A-Team van's in there. All Optimus right. Prime's in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, I'm so anal about this. I have them all ranked by seed. So, like, you don't have, Knight Rider go up against Mach 5, So, like, the A-Team van will go up against, Lightning McQueen or something like that. So, it's just, I spent way too much time on this.
Okay, so to tie that into this, you mentioned Optimus Prime. Would you say that he's a sentient being?
Absolutely.
All the Autobots, all the
I know,
Transformers are sentient beings.
I agree, but they're